it a shot. It's Jessica Biel, and then Pablo Schreiber, I think is his name, and that guy can act. His versatility is crazy. Like, so Candy is played by Jessica Biel, and then Pablo Schreiber plays her friend's husband. And if you don't know who he is, he was in Den of Thieves. He was like ripped in Den of Thieves, and then he was in Defending Jacob. He was a lawyer. He's been in some other stuff, but and now he's playing this like kind of nerdy 80s dad, and like he just nails all these like flawlessly transitions into these different characters. He needs more recognition. But so okay. And I had already heard this story because I'm so into like true crime and stuff. So as I started watching it, I was like, oh, I know about this story because it is based on a true story. Essentially, what it is it's two couples in the 80s, and it starts off right away where like they're telling you that one of she has a teenage son. Okay. So, now, where it is right now is she got raided because of all her scandals. And the next day, she was missing. Her boyfriend reported her missing after like 30 some hours. But she, okay, so a foot, like a shoe washed she's starting to find out, like, as her sister passed, and she thought she kind of knew her sister, right? But her sister passed, and she's like going to collect some things, and she's finding out, like, oh my god, my sister had a double life. So that's where I'm